Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As some of you had asked for a specific video about colors and color theory, how to practice colors and how to go about it, this video is particularly for that. So to begin with, I'll tell you it's very simple. It's not that complicated. There are only these three colors which are called primary colors. So basically everything that you do in colors is basically coming from these three fundamental primary colors. Okay, red, blue and yellow. Why these are called primary colors is because you cannot make these colors from any other color. So these are the base fundamental primary colors. Now all the other colors are basically coming out of these three from mixing it with different proportions. Okay, so what we need to basically study in color theory is how these three colors interact with each other and form millions of other colors. Okay, now apart from this, there is black and there is white. So in color theory, you will see the primary colors are mixing with each other to create secondary colors and tertiary colors, plus there is a change of intensity of white and black into that color. So if I say light pink is basically a mixture of red and white. Okay, the more I increase white into red, the more it goes towards light pink, right? Similarly, when I add white to blue, it goes towards sky blue or even lightish blue, right? So it's like that. So what I would recommend to study and improve color theory is going with the color wheel. Now why this color wheel is so important is because it teaches you three things basically. One is what color mixes with what color to give you which color. Okay, second thing is what amount of mixing is required to reach a particular type of tint, tone or shade. So tint, tone and shade is basically three types of the same color. You get tint when you mix white into a color, into a base color. You get tone when you mix gray into a particular color, and all this thing is basically written over here. So if you go for this color wheel, it's a very good tool for a long term use, for a long term investment. Once you have this tool and once you understand how to use this tool, this will be very helpful in all your color related projects. So like I said, there's a tint, there's a tone, there's a shade part of it, and as you mix white into one color, as you mix gray into the same color, or you mix black into the same color, you get different types of the same color from the same base color. Okay, and then the second thing it teaches is which color goes well with what color you can blend or what color you can use in terms of a composition, and how well that color will behave or look with that color. So if you are say going for a split complementary color scheme and I am choosing blue, so for blue, if I follow this triangle of split complementary, I go for yellow orange, red orange and blue. These three colors if I use, I will get a very nice combination in split complementary. Or if I go for a triad combination, and it can be a two color harmony, it can be a three color harmony, it can also be a four color harmony. So if I go with tetrad, there are four colors that I can use in my composition. And if you see a lot of logo design project or a poster design project, you will see these kind of combinations are used very extensively. Then the other side of the wheel shows you which color, if you mix with what, will give you what color. So it's a very well designed product. I really appreciate the way somebody has put his idea and brain into it and really come up with this nice handy tool. So let's say I want to mix yellow and orange. If I mix yellow and orange, I get this kind of color. If I mix yellow orange with blue, I get this kind of green, right? So this way it helps. And how you should use it in the beginning is you try to mix these colors using any kind of wet medium, like these kind of poster colors or Fabric colors, or simple your watercolors, something like this I prefer, because it's quite portable, very handy, and this is something that you can use outdoor also. So any kind of wet medium you prefer, you take and use a flat brush or use a big round brush, so that your color spreads evenly on the paper. And use a mixing tray. Don't mix the color on the paper. Don't try to mix or smudge that color when you are doing these mixing exercises. Okay, use a mixing plate, mix the color properly in the plate, and then apply one single stroke in one direction, and then don't override it until it's dry. Okay, so what you need to do basically is, you need to create something like this. So let's say I took orange and I keep on adding white to it, and I go from this shade to this shade. Or if I take blue and then I keep on taking that blue over this thing, and I get these intermediate colors. Okay, so this is the primary exercise, and I would suggest you first try it with black and white. The very first thing you should try, because initially we don't understand how to mix certain color and get different tonality, the different intensity of that color. So I would say, just take 5 ml of black, 5 ml of white, or say dip this kind of brush once into the color bottle. Don't mix too much of water, and one side you collect all the black and one side you collect all the white, and then with another brush try to mix little bit of white into little bit of black, and then try to create the darkest gray possible. Or let's say you take a full of black and use just a small tinge of white into it, create the darkest gray, then try to go for the next lighter shade of gray, then again even lighter, and go all the way to white. Once you are done with that exercise, then shift to colors. Take one color and go from that pure color to the lightest version of that color. Same with, once you are done with that, same thing done with gray and that color, then same thing done with black and that color. So there are three options: tint, tone and shade. So suppose you take red, mix the white with red, go 10 steps from red to lightest red. Then take gray and red, then go 10 steps from the brightest red to the darkest or muddiest red. Then similarly with black, keep on adding more and more amounts of black into the red, and see what is the darkest red that you can get after the 10th step. Okay, so this is the exercise. And once you are done with that exercise, then you try to create a color wheel like this. Now once you know how to mix colors and how to mix the right amount of colors, try to create a color wheel like this. Okay, once you are done with that color wheel, then you try to create standard colors like this. You can get these printouts on Google. And once you have enough understanding of what amount of red should be mixed with what amount of black, then you try to create these colors and try to match your pigment as close as possible. So let's say I go with lime yellow, and then yellow green, then beige, then khaki, then olive. I should be able to make these colors as close to these standard colors as possible. And once you are done with this exercise, then you are good to go with composition. Then you choose this thing and try to create composition on your own. So let's say you are creating a new logo for Air India, or let's say you are creating a new logo for McDonald's. Then you try to use these color schemes and redesign that logo. Okay, so that's it from my side. I think this is enough to begin with. I am sure you will be able to do these exercises and share it on the group and learn from this. Again, I would emphasize this fact that go step by step. Don't try to jump the steps. Sometimes the exercise feels boring, but don't skip that step, because once you understand the gradation part of the color variation, you will be able to mix the colors in a more controlled manner. The more you have control on the mixing, the better will be your application. And once you understand the mixing and application part, then it comes to the color composition, color harmony and all those things, but that comes at a later stage. First you begin with creating different types of colors, different shades, different tones, different tints of the same color, and try to understand how these three primary colors give you thousands and thousands of other colors. Okay, so I hope this video helps you. If you like it, please press the like button and share with your friends. Until then, bye bye, take care, see you in the next video.